Hello, friends. Welcome to today's MindSoulful Monday. I am talking all about mental rehab. Yes, rehabbing your mind. I am fresh off of the plane, like literally landed maybe an hour or so, a couple hours ago. And so I wanted to bring today's message to you fresh from Chicago while it's still on my heart and in my spirit. So for those of you that are new to me, hello. My name is Brooke-Sidney. I'm a MindSoulful mentor, a self-love advocate, and an inner voice and soul story coach. Basically what I do is I help people, and I have a soft spot for single mamas and single women. I help them love themselves greater, fuller, deeper, unapologetically in the lives they are presently living. And what I say to most people is that I believe in God and I believe in heaven, but I don't think we have to wait to get to heaven to enjoy and love ourselves and our lives right now. And so that is my goal, my passion, and my assignment, to teach things in line with those thinkings, those, I feel like, revelations, so that we can love ourselves in our life and do what we're here to do. So I wanted to hop on today, especially I'm a little tired. I'm definitely a little tired. Just literally got back from Chicago. Hello, you guys. Thanks for watching. I just got back from Chicago. I was at a real estate investor training. One of my new loves and projects. Real estate has been a theme throughout my entire life. It has started with probably my daddy, who has done very similar work as an architect and developer. So it's something that I've always wanted to do. But I wanted to get on today and share, first of all, the quote that a major real estate mogul shared with us. This past weekend, I went to Make Real Estate Real, which is held and taught by Jemal King. He is a multimillionaire real estate mogul that literally started as a Chicago cop, like a Chicago police officer on a police officer's salary, and currently has like millions of dollars and about 400 toilets, meaning so many rental properties, so many buildings, literally a building for each bill that he has. So I feel like that's someone you could trust in terms of how to go from nothing to something in real estate, as well as the mindset that's required to do some of the things that often other people will tell you are impossible, right? And so one of the things that Jemal said this weekend is that our biggest rehab, because all of us are thinking rehab and houses and, fix and flips and buy and holds and all this stuff. He's like, the biggest rehab, the biggest work, the biggest project is rehabbing your mind, your mental space. This area up here, it governs so much of what happens in our life because it is the filter with which we receive people. It controls the way we think about everything from ourselves to our lives to even God, right? Everything, right, is controlled by our mind, especially if we are not aware of it, if our spirit's not aware of it. So it's really important that we're constantly rehabbing. And by rehabbing, that means cleaning out the gutters. We were using the house metaphor, cleaning the windows, getting new windows if necessary, seeing how the airflow is going. You feel me? Making sure that we have good foundations, right? If the roof needs to be refixed, if something needs to be fixed or replaced, we do it. That's what it truly means to rehab our minds. It means if we're not in the right environment, right? If we're not around the right people, we fix it. If we're having certain information that is seeping into our subconscious, we start thinking about it. Yes, I feel you. We start thinking about it. We don't just take this space, and I feel like what God has given us, our brain, our mind, for granted. And so we should constantly be working to rehab our mind, or in other words, renew our mind. So I wanted to come and just share a couple of things about rehabbing our mind, and I think why it's so important. And I think that I've noticed on the beginning of, my journey, my personal development journey, I feel like doing things a little bit out of order, doing things that are not quite what maybe my peers were doing, and also thinking differently. I can remember when I was graduating from high school in Denver, Colorado, okay, in Aurora, Colorado, to be actually very specific. And I had friends and people around me saying, you know what, we never have to go to school a day again. I was like, that never ever occurred to me. Because although there were obviously people in my class that felt that way, I was surrounded by people with further education, parents, grandparents, so forth. So again, it's very important of who you're surrounding yourself with and monitoring that environment. But I think that's continued. I've definitely been in situations where I went back to graduate school. I left the workforce. I left the workforce doing marketing and media at the height of it. And people are like, that's stupid. You should never do that. You're making six figures. Why would you leave? I wanted to pursue my passion. I wanted to get my master's in journalism. I went ahead and did it, right? It was great. I went to USC, got a full ride. It was awesome, right? But I stepped out on faith. I stepped out on, doing it besides what everyone else would say or what made sense to do. I followed my heart, and it worked out well for me. And even the same with law school. And I say all this to say that whoever is speaking, I don't even want to say death, because I think that's such a strong phrase, but whoever's not speaking life into your dreams, just be aware, just be really aware, because the one point I want to really nail home today is that what God has given you, the vision and the dream that he's placed inside of you, the plan that you start to see in your head, right? The steps that start to be revealed to you, they might just be revealed only to you, right? Just because you have a dream, just because God's given you a vision, just because Spirit is speaking to you on a daily about something that you know that you want to do, it doesn't mean they're speaking to your mother, your spouse, your friend, your coworkers. So it's important for one to guard it, and two, to make sure you know who you're listening to. And so I really want to encourage you all today, especially for those of you that feel like no one understands what I'm doing or no one sees what I'm seeing and people are coming down on what I'm trying to do. But in your heart, you've heard God's voice, Spirit, you've heard it, you know what is for you. I'm encouraging you to stay attuned to that voice, because that is the voice where, again, it's your purpose. Your purpose is not for everyone else. You might be called to stand out. You might be the only one that knows. Should I bring up Noah? Okay. God told Noah, build an ark. There was no rain. There was no flood in sight. He looked like a fool. Like, let's keep it real. He looked like a fool. Like, he looked like he had no idea what he was doing, probably. But what did he have to do? He had to decide who he wanted to listen to and then follow through and stay aligned and not worry about the naysayers. The next thing that I wanted to point out, so remember, your vision, what you have, your dream that's been given to you, and you know when it's true, you have to make sure that you're listening to that dream, because it might just be for you. The second thing is sometimes we cannot always see the next step. And I feel like as you start down the journey, that's where people, the naysayers, try to kill you the most, because you may not have all the steps worked out. And if it's something that Spirit is giving you, Spirit doesn't always show you every single step. Sometimes you just get the first one, and then you're working in faith as you keep going. I had a college student ask me recently, oh my God, didn't you worry about the bar, literally in college? Heck no, I didn't worry about the bar. I worried about how I was going to pass the LSAT, then how I was going to get all the components for my application. Then I worried about how I was going to apply. Then I worried about picking the right schools, applying and so forth, taking the right classes. Man, I didn't start worrying about the bar. This was probably my third year as a third year. That's the thing. We start putting the cart before the horse. Take everything one step at a time. So when you get the doubters and the naysayers, you just know that and trust that each step is going to be revealed to you. But you also don't have to explain yourself to anyone, right? You don't have to explain yourself to anyone. And the last piece of advice that I think is so critical, and this one is not even all ultra spiritual or whatever. This is just real talk. Thank you for those of you guys that are watching. Thank you for those that are giving hearts and commenting. I so appreciate it. The last point that I want to share is that, don't take advice, beloveds. Do not take to heart and to mind people's words and advice and opinions that you would not want to trade places with. Because let me tell you this, there are millions of people out there with opinions. You know why? Because they are free. Opinions are free. But when you speak to someone who has been there, who has invested time, money, resources, and actually energy and some elbow grease, then you might want to use discernment and decide if that's someone that you want to listen to, or that you want to allow to pour into you, or be in your environment, or even share the vision that Spirit has given to you, because that is not necessarily anyone else's business, right? I just wanted to get on and keep it real, because a lot of people, I think, are getting stopped by people that don't have any room to speak into your vision, any room to speak into what God is doing in your life, right? Opinions are so cheap. Like behinds, everybody has one, right? Everyone has one. And so before you take stock in someone's opinion, take it to the word that you have received, right? Take it to the vision that you have received. Take it to the last step that Spirit has given you. Take it up to that. And then also look at that person's life and say, are they living their own teachings? Do they actually have shown improved, either through the mistakes? Like, you don't always have to have gained all the knowledge and basically, okay, well, the reason why I have this is because I learn from my mistakes, right? Sometimes that happens, like people learn from their mistakes. But again, that's the whole point of discernment. You want to test the spirit. But at the end of the day, you want to hold up to whatever advice, whatever person, to the word that you have been given, to the vision that you have heard, to the voice that is speaking to you about your dream. Because I believe it is so critical that we don't allow any voices. Okay, I'm not even going to get into what the voices can be, ego, the enemy, whatever. All the same, one and the same, different, whatever we want to believe. My invitation today is to encourage you to not allow someone else that has no investment, that has no experience, and has no ultimate interest in waylaying something that God has placed in your heart, in your mind, and in your spirit. You need to protect that, right? And you need to make sure that you are getting information and advice from people that can help you water the seed that you've been given to create the fruit that is here for you to do. Right? Because right now, you guys, I am seeing some amazing things that are happening. I'm seeing God and Spirit move in amazing ways through people, through ideas, through things that are getting birthed, through new ways of thinking. And so I'm getting on today, and Spirit, I'm feeling it all to share that. Make sure that you are connecting to the source, God, Spirit, before you let just anyone speak against your dream, speak against what you're trying to do. Because sometimes there are people, no, not even sometimes, there are people waiting on you. There are generations waiting for what you're supposed to birth and the things that you're supposed to do, right? So I just wanted to get on. I just wanted to share that. I'd love for you, if you listen to this, for you to share it out. I'd love for you to not just like it, to love it, to share it, and to comment, because it's so incredibly important. Like, those of us that are mothers, we know the value of nurturing our children's dreams, of encouraging them. But as we get older and as time goes on, I think we forget as adults that what God has put in us is for us, right? And there's something that we're here to birth. And it's important that we protect and nurture it. It's important that we keep growing and expanding and making sure that we're providing the proper environments for what we've been given to take care of, right? To build and take care of. So before you let someone talk about your dream, before you let someone tell you you can't do something, and before you let someone say that's silly, I'd love for you to just take one of the points away from this talk today. And if you have any questions, definitely shoot them to me. I'd love to hear what you guys are up against. I definitely deal with my clients and I talk with them, and they're sharing, concerns about maybe their partners or spouses or whomever not being on board of some of their dreams and the things that they're trying to do. And every situation is different, right? This is not one size fits all, but these are some general outlines. And we know when we're being given divine guidance and direction that our first step is obedience, not listening to other people. So with that, also, hey, I just almost forgot. So I'm putting together a brand new offer that is all about a mental rehab, but it's from the inside out. So I'm going to be creating a program that helps us create more presence, inner peace, connection with God and spirit through prayer and meditation. So if you're into that, who's not into that? Who doesn't need more of that? Who doesn't need it? I don't know. So this is one of my few offerings that's going to be open to both men and women, right? No, most of the time it's for my ladies. This one's for both. So jump in my email list and you'll be the first to hear about the details for this exciting new program that I'm putting together, because I know that right now, one of the best things that we can do for ourselves and for our future generations is make sure that we're connecting to God and spirit so that we can be downloading and producing the fruit that we're here to do based on our unique purpose and calling and design. And that's so exciting. So anyway, have an amazing Monday, and I will talk with you soon.